Oh, okay. Um, I sent out my link to other people that's on my WhatsApp and I was hoping they'd come in, but it looks like they might not. They might have to come in later, but I guess I could go ahead and get started here. Okay. Oh, please make sure to drop a like so my video can end up in YouTube's algorithm. Okay. As you see here, we have my favorite Bible verse. Here, this is my favorite Bible verse because it it has a lot of poetry in it, and it's just like so it just makes me think about all the things my people been through, and it's just and there's a different version. I know we're often taught to the King James version is the best version, translation Bible, but even though I agree with that, I have to admit though I like this other translation better. But anyway, this is Zephaniah 3:10 here. It says, "From beyond the rivers of Ethiopia, my suppliants, even the daughter of my dispersed, shall bring mine offering." So right here, it's saying that the children of Israel got scattered beyond the rivers of Ethiopia. It's not saying that the Ethiopians are the children of Israel, just saying that God's chosen people got scattered beyond the rivers of Ethiopia here. And we have Zephaniah 3:10 here. Well, here's the version that I like, because it's just so much poetry in it, right? It says, "From beyond the rivers of Ethiopia," which is, the biblical word for Ethiopia is Cush, right? It says, "From beyond the rivers of Ethiopia," it says, "my worshipers, my scattered people, so you will bring me an offer." So you see here in Zephaniah 3:10 that the Israel, which is right here, got scattered into Africa, right here. After they got kicked out by the Romans, there was nowhere to run. They had to run south. They ran in all directions, but they mostly ran down south into Africa, beyond the rivers of Ethiopia here. And in order to prove that, we're gonna do something very interesting right here. Okay, first we're gonna follow these instructions. We're gonna first go to www.loc.gov. Okay. As you see, this is loc.gov. Then let's see. Excuse me, right quick. You still with me, Dr. Pizza? And then we're going to type in Negro land in the search engine. Then we're going to click the second result here. And then when you zoom in, remember, this is the Library of Congress official website. This is loc.gov. This is the Library of Congress official website. Then when you zoom in on the slave coast here, You see Kingdom of Judah right here on the slave coast. This is an old Portuguese map of the slave coast. So this is the old Portuguese map of the slave coast. And this is where we were shipped off overseas into all the nations, right? The Portuguese were some of the first people that enslaved us, right? And they wrote Kingdom of Judah on the slave coast, proving that, we are the children of Israel, the Kingdom of Judah. And a lot of us got sent into Africa. Into America. My bad. A lot of us got sent into America and South America, like at large numbers, right here from the slave coast. So a lot of the slave masters knew that we were the Kingdom of Judah right here, and there it is spelled out as plain as day right here, that we're the King of Judah. That we got scattered to into Africa, of course, and then we were caught and captured and enslaved and shipped over here to America and in South America. They say South America actually got more slaves. So this backs up Zephaniah 3:10. Remember what it said, that his children were scattered beyond the rivers of Ethiopia? Here you have it right here. Ain't that amazing how it just lines up with Zephaniah 3:10? All right. And not only that, hope y'all can hear this. This is Rabbi Harry Rosenberg. He's an Ashkenazi Jew, y'all. And even he says that African Americans are the real Jews. Right here. Hope y'all can hear this. Did you hear that? Did you hear that, Dr. Pizza? Dr. Pizza, you still there? Did you hear that? Did everybody hear that video that I? Okay, then we're just gonna move on since nobody's responding. Oh yeah, but did you hear the audio from the video when I just played right now? Dr. Pizza, did you hear did the sound come through good from the video of Harry Rosenberg talking here? It didn't? Oh, crud. Okay, now we got a problem here. Oh, boy. Um, hmm. How do you turn the sound on the screen with Restream? Anyway, I guess I'll just move on with the lesson. I was going to show another video, but since I can't figure out how to get the sound in, we're just going to leave it at that. Oops, my bad. Okay. And this is a lot. You know, as you know that Noah cursed his youngest son, um, Canaan, after what Ham did. Right? He cursed Ham's son Canaan. Right? And we often heard from like white supremacists and even some Christians believe this, that black people are the Canaanites because it says that the Canaanites will go into slavery. But I actually have proof here that the Canaanites are actually the Palestinians here, and it'll come into the proof that, you know, we are the true Hebrew Israelite, because this is Palestine prophecy that's happening right now. Okay, so as we see here, it says Zephaniah 2:4. It says, "For Gaza will be abandoned, and Ashkelon, which is a city in modern day Israel, will be left in ruins. Ashdod will be driven out at noon, and Ekron will be uprooted." Then we have Zechariah 2, verse 5 here. It says, "The word of the Lord is against you, O Canaan." It says, "O Canaan, land of the Philistines." And all Philistines mean all Philistines mean is just well, all Palestine mean is just land of the Philistine. That's the definition of Philistines, right? So that checks out right there, right? Because right here we have Genesis 9:27 here. This is modern day prophecy that's happening today. It says, "God shall patah," which the Hebrew word is deceit. Well, the original text it says is "God shall enlarge Japheth," but the word there, the Hebrew word that was there was patah, and it means deceive. It says God shall deceive Japheth, right? And it says he shall dwell in the tents of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant, right? So that would make, so we know it's talking about Palestine right here, of course, because it says, "For Gaza will be abandoned, and Ashkelon, a city in modern day Israel, we left in ruins. Ashdod will be driven out at noon, and Ekron will be uprooted." And then we have Zechariah 2:5 here. It says, "The word of the Lord is against you, O Canaan, land of the Philistines." Right? And to prove that, I got two sources here. So I'm going to go to this source here first. Okay. We got Palestine here. Hope y'all can read that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're being punished right now. They're under judgment right now, Dr. Pizza. Here's the definition of Palestine. It says, term deriving from the Assyrian term Palestiu. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. denoting the southern coast of the Levant inhabited by the Philistines, also known in biblical texts as the land of the Philistines. See, that's a source that proves that Palestine means land of the Philistines, right? That proves it. Because it used to be like white supremacists used to say that black people in America were the Canaanite slaves, but right here I just proved that the Canaanites are the Palestinians here. Yes, Japheth will be punished. I did a study on Japheth being punished, Dr. Pisa. I think I'm not sure you stayed to watch that lesson because you had to go to sleep, and that was when you had that. No, my bad. That was Adam. Never mind. Oh no, was that you? They said they had that. You had sleep paralysis because you dreamed about. No, that was you. My bad. You had that sleep paralysis because you dreamed about the 666, right? I think that was when I was teaching on Japheth, and I talked about Japheth being punished in that video. So, right. And here's another one here. I just want to go to two sources. Let's see. Where was that? Crud. This weird stuff. Okay. I think they might have got rid of it. I tried to use another source, but I think they got rid of the other source here. If I just put Palestine. Yeah. my birthday's in July. Dr. Peace is on July 9th. So we got Palestine here. Let's see. It's also known as Palestina or Philistine. It's spelled like Philistine. Like, remember I said Philistine? That's how it's spelled out, Philistine. Then we got different. Right here it says Palestine has been that adopted by the British Mandate in the Northwest as the used in the contemporary politics that they call the Palestinian territories, which are the West Bank of Gaza Strip, right? So that confirms it. That's more sources confirming it. Did I say anything else? So as you see, I just wanted to prove that Palestine, that the Philistines, or whether you want to call them, Palestina, Philistine, land of the Philistines, or just plain old Palestine, it's all the same. So the Canaanites are the Palestinians right here. So I guess we can refresh it one more time. our memory. So Zephaniah 2:4 here says, "For Gaza will be abandoned, and Ashkelon, and Ashkelon, that's a city in modern day Israel, left in ruins. Ashdod will be driven out at noon, and Ekron will be uprooted." Zephaniah 2:5, "The word of the Lord is against you, O Canaan, land of the Philistines." So the Canaanites are the Palestinians right here, right? So when it says in Genesis 9:27, "God shall patah deceive Japheth, which are the Europeans, and he shall dwell in the tents of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant." Which proves that the Canaanites are the Palestinians right here. So that's check one right here, right? We got Amos. Yeah, that's true about the police immunity. Yeah, that is possible. If Trump get back in there, he'll do the police immunity. Anyway, we have Amos 1:6 here. It says, "Thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Gaza, and for 4. He said, I will not turn away the punishment thereof." You hear that? God said he will not turn away the punishment of Gaza. He's being very straightforward with it. He said he will not turn away the punishment of Gaza. He said, "Thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Gaza, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because they carried away captive the whole captivity to deliver them up to Edom." So as you know, Edom, yeah, that's right, Dr. P said Palestine is dead. And the thing is, this is going on today, that a lot of Arab Muslim countries are enslaving black people today. So the real children of Israel. That's just what's happening right now. Like, because as you know, Saudi Arabia is Edom. Saudi Arabia is Edom. Don't listen to them Hebrew Israelite camps that's on the street saying that Esau the white man. Now, Esau has been proven over and over in the book of Isaiah to be Saudi Arabia. Okay. The thing is, let's see if it's here. Well, never mind. I'll just come back up here. I'll go and talk about that later. Okay, anyway. So you have the Palestinians that sold us to Saudi Arabia, right? Or we can just know as the Arab slave trade. Saudi Arabia still enslaves a lot of Hebrews today, right? And God's going to punish Palestine for doing that, right? So we have Amos 1:7 here that says, "But I will send a fire on the wall of Gaza, which shall devour the palace thereof." So you see God just trashing Gaza, right? Amos 1:8, "And I will cut off the inhabitant from Ashdod." That's a city in modern day. Ashdod is a city in modern day Israel. "And him that holdeth the scepter from Ashkelon. And I will turn my hand against Ekron, and the remnant of the Philistines shall perish, saith the Lord." So God is punishing both Palestine and Israel. I mean the Israel that's over there, up in, and we know what's going on here, because all you have to do is just add Zephaniah 2:5 with Genesis 9:27 here. When you add these together, you can easily tell what's going on. When you add Genesis 9:27 to Zephaniah 2:5, you put them side by side together, you can tell what's going on here, right? It says the word of the Lord is against you, O Canaan, land of the Philistines. So we already established that Canaan is Palestine. So now we got to prove that Japheth is the European here. right? Japheth is the progenitor of white people or the Europeans. Okay, Japheth is the father of the European here, right? We as we know, we have racist white people in America like David Duke. He's the founder of the KKK, right? Well, not the founder. I mean, he's the leader of the KKK, right? Then we have Richard Spencer, who's a white supremacist, and he's for the alt right. He be saying a lot of vile anti-black rhetoric on all over social media, right, and YouTube, whatever, right. That's what he does. That's how much he hates. But even though he wears a suit, he's still he may be calm with it, but he is a white supremacist. He's always talking about how the white race is superior, right? And we often see that racist Pepe meme, that frog, Pepe the frog. Even people that aren't racist be using this thing. But I can't stand it because I know what it's originally for, right? So you have the racist Pepe meme and I often depict them as with Donald Trump here, as you see, that racist paper. So they're always saying, the white supremacists are always saying how great they are, right? And what I find very strange here is white people are the father. I mean, Japheth is the father of all white people, right? And you have Ashkenazi Jews openly calling themselves Ashkenazi Jews. So you have them all openly calling themselves Ashkenazi Jews. So they're the sons of Japheth, right? And right here we can prove that because it says right here in Genesis 10, 1 through 5, it says, 2 through 5. It says the sons of Japheth, Gomer, Magog, Madai, and Javan, and Tubal, and Meshach, and Tyrus. And the sons of Gomer, Ashkenaz. By these were the isles of the Gentiles. So you have the Bible straight up saying that the Ashkenazi Jews are Gentiles, divided in their land, everyone after his tongue, after their families and their nations. So it's like they openly admit. So right here, as you see, the biblical name of the white Greeks are Javan, and the white Romans are Kittim. Do y'all notice something in this picture? They all have the same father, Japheth. That's why it says, Genesis 9:27 says, God shall deceive Japheth, which is the Ashkenaz. That's who God, since they unknowingly tell off on themselves when they openly call themselves Ashkenazi Jews. They openly tell off on themselves, folks. When they say they are Ashkenazi Jews, they openly call themselves Ashkenazi Jews. So it's like they made a mistake of telling off on themselves, because it says that the Europeans, which is the white man Japheth, are Gentiles. Japheth and his sons are Gentiles. So that means they're not the chosen people. You must come through the bloodline of Shem in order to be God's chosen people, right? And then he says, and he shall dwell in the tents of Shem, which is the black, which is it's not saying all black people are the children of Israel, but just the ones that were sent on the slave ships that descend from Shem. I will, Dr. Pizza. I'll make a Blues Clues one about the Ashkenaz for you. I'll do that, and I'll put it on my YouTube channel here. on both of my YouTube channels. I'll put it up. So you got and then what's strange here was the Bible verse didn't even say the Shemites would be dwelling in their own tents. It didn't say the Shemites would be dwelling in their own tents, and that's what the so-called Negro is. That's been scattered all over the earth, right? It says nothing about them dwelling in their own tents. It says Japheth shall dwell in the tents of Shem. The key word is dwell here. They're dwelling in the so the people over there in modern day Israel aren't the real children of Israel. Okay? They're not the real chosen people. Because it says they shall deceive them. Patah. The original word here was enlarge, but if you look at what the original Hebrew word is actually is patah, and it actually means deceive. So you say you got God shall patah deceive the Ashkenazi Jew right here, and he shall dwell in the tents in the so-called Negro Shem's tent, and Palestine shall be his servant. So right now the Palestinians are serving Japheth because Japheth is kicking their butt because they're under judgment, right? See if I can copy. All right. As you can see, here's a video about the word patah, proven. This is from a Christian website. This is from a Christian website right here, patah. I mean, from a Christian right here that says this proves that patah does indeed mean deceive. He doesn't even know that black people are the real Jews. But this confirms that patah does indeed mean deceive. I'll put the link right here in the chat. Okay, this link right here. That link right there is the link that proves that patah means deceive. So y'all can check that video out if whenever you have the time, if you want to. But you might be. Can you hear? Let me see. Can y'all hear this? Can you hear this, Dr. Pisa? Can you hear the video? Say, Dr. Pisa. You still there, Dr. Pisa? Can you hear the video? Dr. Pizza, you left. Oh, man. All right, then. Since Dr. Pizza left, I'm going to have to move on. Okay. Let me see. I'm pretty sure you're busy, probably. Okay, I'm finna just. Okay, I guess we get the point here. Let's see. And we're finna go to a source that'll prove that patah does indeed mean deceive. So we have patah here, patah. See, patah, which means, notice how something keeps coming up here. It's deceive. Deceive keeps coming up, right? So this is another source right here that proves that the Hebrew word that belongs there, patah, which it means deceive, right? So here's patah here from the Blue Letter Bible Dictionary, blueletterbible.org here, and it too talks about, it mentions the word deceive. So that's another source that's saying that it means deceive. Okay, so we have here, it says Patah, right? That's another website here, Bible Hub, and right here, as you know, the word deceive pops up again. The meaning of it, deceived, Patah, or entice, proving that God deceived Japheth into dwelling in the tents of Shem. Right here in the Bible basically destroys white supremacy here, because we have David Duke, Richard Spencer, and Nick Fuentes. They will say that the white race is the superior race. They would often say that the white race is the superior race. But the Bible shuts that down right here, like in Genesis 10, 2 through 5, and with Genesis 9:26. So we have Genesis 10, 1 through 5 here, and it says that, the white Greeks, are Javan or Rome, and just like the Ashkenazis here, right? They all have the same father. We often see anti-racist billboard sign in sundown towns and alt-right towns right here. And they say they say ridiculous stuff like anti-racist is a code word for anti-white. When Roger Forster got blown away, he wasn't being anti-white. He was a United States Air Forceman. He worked in the Air Force. He was a black man. He got blown away. So that was just my little mural I have there. I'll just go back to that later. So I already proved that, black people are that was sent on the slave ships were the true Hebrew Israelites that were sent on the slave ships, right? And we also proved that that Palestine was the Philistines or the Canaanites. So we have Zephaniah 4. We have Zephaniah 2:5 right here, and it says, "For Gaza will be abandoned and Ashkelon left in ruins. Ashdod will be driven out at noon, and Ekron will be uprooted. Woe to the dwellers of the seacoast. O nations of the Cherethites, the word of the Lord is against you, O Canaan, land of the Philistines. I will destroy you, and no one will be left." Process of elimination proved that since the Canaanites are the Palestinians in Zephaniah 2, 4 through 5, which means that would make Japheth the Ashkenazi, and Shem is the so-called Negro in Genesis 9:27. So again, we say, if God shall Patah deceive Japheth, Ashkenaz, and he shall dwell in the tents of Shem, and Canaan, Palestine, shall be his servant. And then we have Zechariah 9:6 here, and it actually lines right up with Genesis 9:27 as well. So you can add these two Bible verses together too. Genesis 9:27 plus 9:6. And it says, "And a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod." That's a modern day city in Israel. "And I will cut off the pride of the Philistines," which is Palestine, the land of the Palestines. So you have God calling the people that are dwelling in the modern day city of Israel bastards. And we all know who that is. Those are the Gentiles that Genesis 10, 2-3 speaks of. It says the sons of Japheth, Gomar and Magog and Madi and Javan and Tubal and Meshiach and Tiras, and the sons of Gomer, which are Gentiles, right? So so that lines right up with there, you know. And we know it's taught that, you know, that the black people that were sent on the slave ships are talking about the so-called Negro, right? Right here when it says Acts 7, 6-7, it says, God told him that his descendants would be foreigners in a strange land and that they would be enslaved and mistreated there 400 years. But I will punish that nation that enslaves them. God said that's where they will come forth and worship me in this place, right? So I believe that nation that they will punish is America right here. As you know, Europe is Japheth's territory. Shem is the Middle East, and Ham is Africa's territory, the Hamite territory. As we know, God, even though God does, we all are God's children and we all can come to the Lord and be saved, God still has a chosen people. Genesis 9:26 says, and he said, blessed be the Lord God of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant. Deuteronomy 7:6, for thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God has chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. So God still has a chosen people, right? Okay. I think I want to scroll down a bit. And we know that America that the Bible is talking about a spiritual Egypt. He's not talking about a physical Egypt, because in Revelation 11:8, he says, and their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt. And I believe it's talking about America right here. I believe America is spiritually Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified, right? And, you know, I also have 10 verses here that proves that the children of children of Israel are, you know, Negro right here, you know, that Egypt is spiritual, that modern day Egypt, that America is spiritual Egypt. And it says right here, Deuteronomy 28:6, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again. Remember, all Egypt means is house of bondage. Again, with ships, by the way thereof, I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. There ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. Deuteronomy 28:6, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. Thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. And I do believe that Palestine is under judgment right now. So I've proven what's going on in Israel right now, you know, with, you know, us being the real Jews and Palestine is being under punishment, right? And I want to leave off with this. Like, I think it's okay to pray for your, pray, like, if the persecution gets out of hand, I think it's okay to pray against your adversary, that trouble you? Because I remember that Bible verse that said, if possible, live peacefully with all men. But I think it's okay that we can also pray when the persecution gets out of hand. Like like it says, and there was a widow in that town who kept appealing to him, give me justice against my adversary. That's Luke 18:3. Learn to do good, seek justice, and rebuke the oppressor. That's why I think it's okay to rebuke the people that are persecuted. Let's say like white supremacists, right? He said, and then right here it says, and will not God bring about justice for his chosen ones who cry out to him day and night? Will he keep putting them off? This is Luke 18:7. So I believe right there it's okay to pray for those that are pray against those that are persecuting you. I really believe it's okay when I look at these Bible verses. So, but since I don't have that many people watching me right now, I figure maybe I can try to stream this tomorrow at 3 p.m. tomorrow, maybe. Like when people are getting out of church, maybe I can catch it in and we can cover this again. I figure I'm going to keep this short since not that many people are watching. So I'm going to give other people a chance to catch up and stuff. So anyway, I want to say thank you, Dr. Pizza, for commenting. I thank all of you who enjoyed the stream. Remember to live every day in victory, and of course, cueing the victory music, victory fanfare. Till next time, dudes and dudettes, and we are out.